Imagine spending your days maintaining a billion-dollar fantasy, polishing the surfaces of a home the world only sees through a filtered lens, only to have your own identity belittled the moment the cameras stop rolling. For the last 72 hours, the pristine image of Kylie Jenner's Hidden Hills sanctuary has been under a digital microscope, and it's not because of a new key drop or a paparazzi snap. A former housekeeper has officially broken the non-disclosure agreement of silence, filing a lawsuit that describes a workplace defined by hostility, exclusion, and a supervisor who allegedly used coat hangers as weapons. We aren't just looking at a disgruntled employee, we're looking at a $10 million legal challenge that claims the world's most relatable billionaire allowed a culture of religious and racial discrimination to fester right under her roof. The factual reality of the Jenner versus Vasquez showdown began to surface on April 21, 2026, just as the buzz from Coachella started to fade. Angelica Hernandez Vasquez, who worked for the Jenner household from September 2024 to August 2025, alleges that her time at the Hidden Hills estate was a toxic nightmare. According to the court documents, Vasquez was subjected to severe and pervasive harassment by head housekeepers who reportedly mocked her Salvadoran heritage and her Catholic faith. The lawsuit claims that supervisors would snap their fingers at her like a dog, falsely accuse her of misconduct, and even demand to see her private phone. Things reportedly turned physical in March 2025 when a supervisor allegedly threw hangers at her feet during a verbal reprimand. Vasquez eventually resigned in August 2025, citing medical leave for PTSD-like symptoms that she claims were a direct result of the abusive environment managed by Jenner's agents. Public reaction to the filing has been a sharp divide between Kardashian fatigue and genuine workers' rights advocacy. Viral clips of legal experts dissecting the California Labor Code violations, specifically the claims regarding unpaid overtime and denied meal breaks, have racked up millions of views. The social media debate is currently centered on the Chalamet connection. The lawsuit explicitly mentions that Vasquez was allegedly sent to work at Timothée Chalamet's residence without being reimbursed for travel or time, which has sent both fan bases into a tailspin. On X and TikTok, the discourse has shifted from the aesthetics of Kylie's home to the ethics of her payroll, with critics pointing out the irony of a billionaire allegedly skimping on gas money for her domestic staff. This situation escalated because it pierces the soft launch era Kylie has been cultivating. For context, we've seen her transition from King Kylie to a more quiet, sophisticated cottagecore aesthetic over the last year. But a lawsuit alleging that her staff told a Catholic employee that her people are horrible completely shatters that peaceful brand. This is everything about influencer culture in 2026. You can curate the perfect lifestyle, but the people who actually build that lifestyle for you are the ones who hold the delete key to your reputation. It affects Kylie standing by framing her not as a girl boss, but as a detached employer who failed to notice, or chose to ignore, a systemic culture of bullying within her own four walls. At original commentary and analysis, why does the Catholic and Salvadoran aspect of the suit carry so much weight? Because it contradicts the global, inclusive branding of Kylie Cosmetics and her personal image. It's the proximity paradox. Kylie is constantly surrounded by diverse teams in her professional life, but the lawsuit suggests that in her private life, her management companies allegedly operated with a mindset that felt decades out of date. The analysis of the complaint suggests a management buffer, the idea that Kylie herself may not have uttered the insults, but by using staffing agencies like TriStar Services, she created a layer of insulation that allowed this behavior to continue without her direct oversight. Maintain a conversational tone, but let's be blunt about the labor trap. It's a punchy, dramatic irony that a woman with a private jet is being sued for failing to reimburse a housekeeper for a crosstown drive. Short, punchy sentences in the legal filings describe the environment as degrading and demeaning. Slower, more analytical tone during the breakdown of the secret recording claim shows that a meeting intended to solve these issues was allegedly recorded without Vasquez's permission. This suggests a level of premeditation in how the household staff handled complaints, turning an HR issue into a gotcha moment that eventually backfired into this lawsuit. We have to clearly separate the confirmed details from the online theories currently circulating. It is a confirmed fact that Angelica Vasquez is the plaintiff and that Kylie Jenner Incorporated is listed as a defendant. It is a confirmed fact that the lawsuit seeks punitive damages for emotional distress and wage theft. The online theories, however, are speculating that this is only the tip of the iceberg and that other former staff members are currently forming a class action suit. Fans are theorizing that the hidden recording mentioned in the suit might contain audio of Kylie herself, which would be a total game changer for the case. There is also a viral theory that this lawsuit was timed to coincide with the premiere of the new season of The Kardashians to ensure maximum settlement leverage. The analytical tone of the staffing agency defense is the most likely path forward for Kylie's legal team. Slower, more thoughtful threads on LinkedIn and industry blogs are discussing how high-profile celebrities often have zero direct contact with the hiring of housekeepers, delegating everything to agencies like La Maison Family Services. If Kylie can prove she had no knowledge of the hanger-throwing or the religious slurs, she might escape the discrimination label, but she still remains legally liable for the wage and hour violations occurring on her property. This leads us to a bigger industry question. Should billionaires be held personally responsible for the actions of their household agents? If your name is on the gate, is the culture inside that gate your responsibility, or is it just business? We've seen similar suits hit Ellen DeGeneres and Kelly Clarkson, but Kylie represents a younger, digitally native generation that is expected to be more socially aware. The future impact of this will likely be a total restructuring of how Kardashian-Jenner staff are managed. We can expect a quiet settlement within the next few months, as Kylie cannot afford a public trial where her head housekeepers are testifying about Catholicism and immigration status in a Los Angeles courtroom. The upcoming response possibility is a vague statement from a Jenner spokesperson. They will likely emphasize that Kylie values all her employees and that the plaintiff's claims are being investigated, while simultaneously filing a motion to move the case to private arbitration. The unresolved tension is the Chalamet factor. If Timothy is dragged into a deposition to discuss whether a housekeeper was loaned to him like a piece of equipment, it could strain the most talked-about relationship in Hollywood. Ultimately, Kylie Jenner being sued by her former housekeeper isn't just a legal headline. It's a reminder that the gold standard of celebrity living often has a very dark, very human cost. By the time this case is resolved, the quiet luxury Kylie has been selling us might feel a lot more like loud negligence. Do you think a celebrity is responsible for every word their middle management staff says, or is Kylie being unfairly targeted just because her name is on the paycheck? Let's talk about it in the comments.